Today, CNC4A would like to take you to the next step in setting up your tool library. Now, some people, they put the cart before the horse or the horse before the cart. They get it mixed up. A lot of people spend time putting the tool holder in the machine, coming down, touching off and getting the dimension, then going up, adding it to the tool library, then they just do the offsets and machine away. They've actually missed the boat, because CNC machining is a process and it follows certain steps. First step is you have the idea and you design and draw up the part. The next step is then to generate the G-code for it. Now, if you're using proper programs like SolidCAM or Fusion 360 or HSM Works or any of the other million other programs out there, they require you to know this distance from here to here. Also, your holder height. Why? Because part of the power of CNC programming software is it can detect collisions, clamps, edges of jobs, that sort of thing. Now, you cannot do that without knowing your holder height and your tool overhang. You are actually doing the tool overall length when you machine, when you set it up on the machine. But I'm pointing out that is too late. You're not thinking with your brains. You need to have worked that out, established that before it even gets to the machine, not when you're on the machine. How do you do it? As you've been following the series, this is the tool cutting set I've got, the automatic tool change holders. I've had to modify different types. The reason for that is, you get a small 3mm, when it's coming into machine, all this was blocked, which stops the coolant, interferes with the chips, interferes what you can see, also can interfere with edges and clamps. So I spent some time regrinding all those. That's what they originally look like. That's what I've machined them down to. You have a side lock. You undo the screw, put your tool in, then you tighten up the screw until it just sits on the flat, so the flat is level. Then you get something and you push down the hole until the tool is sitting on the angle. Here's your screw and it's sitting. Then you tighten up your grub screw. That will push down and lock the tool bit, the cutter, in that uniform distance. Just say there's a mil of movement. If you take this out and sharpen it, you can measure the overall length of the cutter and just say you take 5 thou off. If you keep it to the same position all the time, repeatability, you then just have to go into your offset, take off the 5 thou, and it's already done. You don't have to remeasure it. If you get the standards done, you save a lot of hassles later. So you put the tool in, pushed it down, you've nipped it up. What about the types of collets? You hear people say, oh, collets, they don't move, they don't fit in the same position all the time. In the end, there's a recess. This is a large tool, it hits a recess. When I'm putting the tool in, I actually just push the tool till it sits. What you do yourself is you just make up a series of stepped blocks, turn diameters, they're just sitting there, so when it fits in, it's repeatability. Same goes for odd shaped ones. Now the fly cutter, you will need to measure that. That's probably the only one because the tool bit varies. So that may be the only one, but I'll show you how easy it is. Then you might say, what about drills and the drill chuck? A drill chuck will close down on that diameter drill in the same position all the time. If it's 10 mil diameter, it will sit there. If it was 11 mil diameter, it will sit there. If it's 9 mil, it will sit there. Always sits the same position. So, in your drill chuck, you can also make up a little pin that fits in that stops it, or get yourself a little disc like you see a stop. They put a screw on a little ring and that sets it. So you can make up a permanent one. If you use permanent drills, say for tapping and all that, you just have to turn up a 5.1 mil drill, make up a 5.1 collar, shrink it on, and then it will sit down on top of the jaws of the drill chuck and always have the repeatability. Always have the repeatability. So that's what you have to do there. Set your tooling up first, correctly, then after that the steps are simple. You'll see all these and you think, great, standard size cutters, all ordered at the same time, so should have been in the same batch. But they vary. Now this is where I do the CNC4A method a bit different to most people. In the holder setup, I name each holder. So instead of having a side lock 10 mil and have a list of 10 of those, I make it side lock 10-01, -02, -03, -04, side lock 06, -1, 2, 3, 4. So I then know the exact holder I'm using. I also number the end mills. So if I got 3 6 mil end mills, it's 6 mil -01, -02, -03. So you can do that in Excel. You buy a end mill, you measure it up, which you have to do anyway. Just put it in Excel, give it a number and the date you brought it. Write on them in Technicolor, so they're all sitting there in your drawer when you want to replace them. We've got the holders, we've got the cutters identified and numbered, so then we just need to measure these distances. These have a shoulder that sits on. These are 3/4. Unfortunately, you can't get a 3/4 inch and a half ball bearing, but you can make up a bush that long if you wish. I modified this old, the 100-year-old base plate off a hand shaper. We actually moved the shaper by hand. So I've just put in a 20 mil hole in there. For ones with nuts and all that, I've got fingers that lock in the collet. That then becomes my tightening jig as well. So it's quite simple. You can use a depth mic, you can use a vernier caliper, you can get your vernier caliper, zero it, and just measure the cutter like that. You note that distance down. Just get your caliper and you measure that distance and you note that down. Or you can use a depth mic. Where it starts to get a bit more difficult with the smaller ones, you can make up an angle jig that just uses that part of the body to come down. And then you have your measurements. What do I do? Well, I'm a professional, so I spend the extra money and buy professional tools, because in the end they will save you time and save you money. So this is a height gauge. The early ones used to be a vernier height gauge before electronics were invented, and they were a series of line, and when the lines one lined up you would read it to the thou. Then when the dial indicators become popular, you'll see a dial indicator type. You'll see our friends at Tormac, they've got it there and they say, right, they read it off, that's so many inches, that's so many tenths, that's that. Bit difficult. These days it's fairly easy to buy a digital readout surface gauge in inch and metric. The old type were either inch or they were metric. This has hold functions just like your similar calipers. So what do? You just put on the flat tip, go down, put it on, just touch like that, do a 0, so 0, come over, touch, yeah, 38.84 millimeters, you can convert it, write that down, come up, touch it, at 73.16, write that down, it's done. How quick can you do it? I always zero just to make sure nothing's moved. Look at the narrow one down there. You can zero it. Write it down. Seconds. How long does it take you to set up your machine, put it in your machine, clear the table of all the swarf, make sure it's all clean, get out your plate or your tool setting gauge, connect it up, come up, put your tool in, come down, touch, come back over, and it may automatically transfer across. You've done a big job, you then go on and machined it, you've got your next tool, you say, oh okay, you then have to clean your table. You never see that in the demos and all that, but you have to clean your table, clean surface, put it back, wait for all the coolant to wash away, stop dripping and all that. This way, I can put this in. It can be taken a cut. As it's cutting, I just have to get the next tool. Bang, bang, bang. Go into Mach 3, open it up. Done. How quick is that? How easy is that? How productive is that? That's why the horse works better in front of the cart. As always, on the end of the video will be QR code that shows you the tools and all that videos that's mentioned. Also the suppliers and eBay links and all that. So save time. It's your life you're wasting. So put it to good use. You can just make up a bush, put it on your table when you've got a free time. Piece of glass, piece of granite, marble chopping block from the kitchen, any of those things, it doesn't matter. Do it, save time, and if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe and tell your friends, and if you haven't, tell me. Thanks for watching.